Hi guys, so in this video we're going to cover a little bit of CSS, just kind of a crash course introduction. Now if you remember from HTML, you have the different tags have different elements on the page, and so what that would look like, what this page would look like with a header and 3 paragraphs. This would be my header and all of the paragraphs here. In one of the paragraphs we defined it to be bold and the other one italic. Now if you want to do any more styling, then that's where CSS would come in, Cascade Styling Sheet. The style refers to how a web browser might define an HTML element in terms of color, size, layout on the page, formatting, and such like that. So what we're going to start with, the CSS is located in the head, so I'm going to create a style tag and close that tag. And so this is where the CSS would be located, right in between these two tags here. Now, in order for the CSS syntax, it depends on a selector and then a declaration. So first you have to say, okay, what it is on the page that you want to style. In this case, let's start out with H1. By default, H1 looks like this. If you want to change the color, the size, or anything, then first I'm going to select H1 up here, and then you have these brackets, an open and close bracket. And this is where the declaration would be, all the changes that we need to make. So I'm going to spread those apart. You have a property. For example, I want to change the color, perhaps. That would be a property. You write property colon, and then the value. In this case, I'm going to put dark red, and then I'm going to close it with a semicolon. The semicolon says, okay, I'm ready for the next property. What else do I want to do? So let's go ahead and change the font size as well. I'm going to make this perhaps 72 px, which would be pixels. A pixel is just one dot within the web browser, and so this is saying I want it to be 72 pixels large. And if I go ahead and save this, then you'll be able to see how the changes are affected in the web browser. You see I have a larger font, and I have that the header is now a reddish color, dark red. Some of the other properties that you might want, text align, for example. If you want to center it, if you want to change the actual font, then you can do that. So I'll go ahead and save this, and then you can see the change right there. Now you can write this all on one line if you'd like. It can look like this. Since there are quite a few, it looks kind of cluttered right there, so I'm going to go ahead and hit a hard enter so that I can separate and easily see the different properties and their values. And so then I can go on to the next element that I want to define. In this case, it'll be a P. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with that. Hit enter a few times. When I say P, then that's the paragraph element. What do we want to change with the paragraph? Let's go ahead and select another color. And this time I'll do olive. I'll change the font family to, you can change it to Times New Roman, Arial. In this case I'll do Verdana. Go ahead and save that. And then when I refresh, then you can see the different font and the different color. You can find different colors online. You can either use what's called the hexi colors. You might see that it always starts with a numer sign, and then you'll have 6 values, alphanumeric values, or you can do RGB values. You do RGB within the parentheses, then you'd have 3 different values there. And there, as you can see here, 16 million different colors. Any combinations between 0 and 255 times, cubed. That's takes you to about 16 million. And you can find lists online of different values and what they would look like in the browser. You can also just write in the name that corresponds to the hex value, like I did here with dark red and olive. I just wrote in the name. And so for this style sheet, let's go back here. One more thing I want to define, I want to put a background color behind here so it's not just white. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to select the body tab right here. That'll be my selector. And then for the declaration, I'm going to go ahead and put background, and the color that I want is called linen. I'm going to go ahead and save that, and when I refresh that, then you can see all of the changes. I didn't change anything with the HTML. The HTML is still pretty basic, but here in the styling, then I made the definitions, and you can see that effect right there. And so you can go ahead and play around, go online and look up all of the different properties that you can change and the correct values, and you can play around with your website that way.